Hello everyone, I'm Tiffany Field, and this presentation is about a site I redesigned for my own classroom. This is the old site for Mrs. Field's science class, and here is the new site that I have redesigned. The purpose of the site is to keep students up to date on lessons, school events, provide them resources for lessons, and take the place of some of the things that were cluttering Google Classroom, such as links, documents, and resources. Another purpose of the new site is to keep parents informed and give them access to contact me very easily and give them multiple ways to contact me rather than just an email address. The last purpose of the new site is to satisfy the school district requirement that all teacher lessons be posted to their website weekly. I tested the site with 3 groups based on my 3 main user types: students, parents, and administrators. There were 5 participants in each group, so that meant a total of 15 testers for the site. The student group test consisted of 5 student volunteers for my own classroom, and they were between the ages of 11 and 12. The parent and administrator test groups both consisted of teachers who volunteered for the test from my school. The student user test was conducted in my own classroom during a student break. They were encouraged to provide honest feedback to help me make the site better. They were also told to report any problems they encountered along the way. To start the user test, I gave the students the survey and I read aloud the pre-questions 1 and 2 as the students rated how they usually use teacher websites on a scale from never, rarely, sometimes to often. After students completed the pre-question survey, I instructed them to go to the website mrsfield.com and attempt 4 scenarios. I also asked them to rate each scenario on how easy or difficult they were to complete on a scale from 1 to 7. The scenarios the students attempted had to do with things such as finding the date of a school event, finding teacher lesson plans, or about the class in general, or to find resources to complete an assignment. Students were directed to go directly to the post questions when they finished the task scenarios. Students then rated things about the website in general, such as its ease of navigation, how easy the text was to read, the graphics, and also the balance of images and text on a scale from strongly agree to strongly disagree. They were also asked to list their favorite and least favorite features of the website and then submit the piece of paper back to me. The parent and administrator user tests were conducted in a slightly different manner. These tests were simply given to the teacher volunteers to complete at their own convenience. The teacher volunteers were either given a paper as a parent user or instructed to pretend to be an administrator user. They were also asked to give honest feedback to help me improve the site and to return their papers to me at the end of the day. The parent user test scenarios consisted of finding general class information, locating lesson plans, contacting Mrs. Field, and locating specific lesson resources. The administrator user test scenarios consisted of locating the teacher lesson plans to ensure compliance with the district rules and also to ensure that the teacher has adequate contact information posted for parents. Let's take a look to see what the data shows us about the usability test on Mrs. Field's class website. The pre-test survey gave us quite a bit of information about why these 3 sets of users use teacher websites. Most notably, student response data showed that they use teacher websites most often to locate lesson resources and to find ideas for their makerspace projects. So it looks like students are really looking at these websites to provide them some outside information. Parents rated seeing pictures of students the highest and also finding lesson resources as one of their highest reasons to access teacher websites. Not surprisingly, administrators indicated that finding teacher lesson plans was their top reason to visit teacher website. Now, let's take a look to see what happened when all three user groups attempted these scenarios. Fortunately, all the test groups reported 100% task completion rates, and all users rated the task between a 5 and 7 on the ease of use scale. The lowest rated task was locating general class information. Students gave it an average rating of 5.8. However, the parent group gave the same scenario an average rating of 6.4. Locating lesson resources was rated a high 6.2 by students and parents. Finding parent contact information was given a 7.0 by everyone in the parent test group and a 6.6 in the administrator test group. Locating lesson plans was rated the lowest by students at a 6, but rather higher by the parent and administrator groups. The last set of data we're going to look at are the post-survey questions that related to the site as a whole. Users were allowed to rate things such as the ease of navigation, the colors, and the home page as either they agree, disagree, strongly disagree, or strongly agree. Users indicated high ratings in most areas, giving no less overall than a 3.0. However, students gave overall lower ratings than parents and administrators. Students gave the balance of images and text an average 3.0 rating. Parents gave the same area a 3.4 and administrators gave it a 3.8. Other notable differences is that students rated the colors of the site as attractive on an average of 3.2, just above agree, whereas parents and administrators both rated this much higher. Some of the positive comments from user testing were that the Makerspace Idea Center was a great page, the menu bar was easy to use, they liked the photos of students creating, there was a lot of contact information. Two different parent users noted the availability of the lesson plans, and the listing of class policies was also something liked by the users. Some suggestions from users were that the images on the unit page were not linked to actual units. The students, both on their papers and verbally, complained about having to type in the site address, mrsfield.com, because Google auto corrects my last name. And one administrator recommended a language translation link. And several users said that more resources would be great for the website. And one administrator also recommended incorporating more school district related images or district colors into the website. So now that we've looked at the data and there are definitely some things that stick out, let's talk about how we can improve the website based on those results of the user tests. Student ratings on both the task analysis and post-test survey were lower than those of parents and administrators. And since students are the primary users of the site, improvements could be made to accommodate their technical abilities and feelings towards the site. And although the overall average ratings indicate a successful prototype of the website, minor changes could improve those usability scores from students. And since students rated the balance of images and text as the lowest, perhaps something like image-based buttons rather than the block-style buttons that are now throughout the site. Perhaps those image-based buttons could be more engaging and also help students navigate the site more easily. Adding images with text links could especially be useful for students with limited vocabulary skills, attention deficit disorder, or those who are not as proficient in English. Since several students also noted that typing the site into the address bar was not ideal for them, increasing the website's visibility in a Google search would definitely be something worth looking into, because that is the primary way my students find websites is by Googling the name. Other student comments were regarding the unit page and noting that the images in the unit page were not all linked to anything. The unit pages are for specific course information and specific lesson information, and the building of each of those pages would require considerable time to map out the entire course. However, one possibility might be to link those images instead to a resource page with outside links, or to perhaps a course calendar to indicate when those particular units will be covered. Some other minor notes from testers that could be explored could be adding some type of translation information for, especially for parents, and maybe incorporating the school district a little bit more, perhaps with some different colors from the school district, or adding a school district logo to the website. But overall, the website testing was positive. There were high ratings, and it indicated a very engaging and properly functioning user-friendly website.